Testing, testing. Oh, hello, California. Hi. Hi, good morning. Okay, well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Phone Eats First. All right, we're going to have to feed the animal, and then I'll get right back to you guys. You are listening to Phone Eats First. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Phone Eats First, a podcast about romanticizing life and finding inspiration inside and outside of the kitchen. Today, we are outside of the kitchen in my bedroom, the new studio for the day. We're going to see how we like it. I have a new bookshelf behind me if you're on video. I've got a new plant named Penny to my right if you're also on video. She'll probably last about 5 days, and then I'll remind myself why I don't have plants in the house. And we've got Callie coming in, our live audience. We just got back from a really long walk, so she's a little dead right now, which is for the best. But yeah, hi, it's been a long time, and I've missed you guys. I hope you've missed me as much as I've missed you. I just, podcasting takes time. It takes energy, and I haven't had much of either. So I've just, we had to put Phone Eats First on the back burner, and no promises that I will get back to the regularly scheduled program like I used to, because I'm entering my, believe it or not, yes, my work does get busier in the summer. Somehow, some way, the summer is my busy time at work. So I'm going to do my best. Honestly, I have been thinking recently, how did I ever even release an episode as much as I did? I should really pat myself on the back for that, count that as a win, because damn, I was posting a lot of episodes and no one pays me to do this. I don't pay myself to do this. I actually ironically paid to do this. So we're going to see. We're going to try. I'm going to try my best. So if you guys missed me, let me know, because that might inspire me a little bit more to podcast more. And I really do love it. So here I am. Long story short, no one really cares, but we're back. And I just, for the sake of my brain organization, we're going to go ahead and call this season 2. I probably should have called we should probably be on season 5 by now. I mean, I do have close to 60 episodes out, which is a lot of episodes. And most podcasts kind of do, I guess everyone does seasons differently, but I don't know. I mean, a 2-month hiatus calls for season 2. And I posted a cute little thing on my Instagram, which if you're not following Phone Eats First Pod on Instagram, please follow. Show me some love over there. But I posted, we're entering the second course of our meal, because as you know, this is started as a foodie focused podcast. Now we've really merged into whatever you want to call it. But all of that being said, welcome to your official season 2 episode, hard lunch, whatever you want to call it, of Phone Eats First. And we're just going to start off short and sweet so I can get back into the swing of things with a weekly report. And if you are new here, or if you forgot how they work, the weekly report is just a recap that I do at the beginning of every episode, recapping what I'm reading, eating, a plan, an obsession, a recipe, and a treat. Sometimes I mix up the letters, keep you on your toes, but right now we're just going to stick with the normal weekly report. So let's get into it. Okay, our reading. I am still on the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, the same author as ACOTAR, and I'm on the 7th out of 8 books. I'm on Tower of Dawn, I'm pretty sure. And I'm just having a really hard time getting into it. I needed to take a break, so I actually binge read Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Loved that book. It was on my TBR, to be read. I also recently learned what that meant, which I'm a reader and a Libyer and a Goodreadser. So I was like, everyone kept saying my TBR list, and I was like, what? Finally realized, to be read. I think if I'm wrong, then this is really embarrassing, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So anywho, that's what I'm currently reading. I think I'm going to just start over and recommit, because like I said, I had a hard time getting into it. I just needed a break from the fantasy world. Those books are massive, but the book before Tower of Dawn is Empire of Storms, and I loved that book. It was amazing. But now we just kind of have a character switch up, and I got to recommit to the plot. But Love in Other Words is an amazing romance book. I sobbed when it ended, which, I mean, I kind of just forgot that that's what happens with all of those books. Like all the Colleen Hoover books, all these just love stories make me cry. But, I needed it probably. So that was a really good book. I read it in 2 sittings. To be fair, one of those sittings was like 5 or 6 hours on the beach one day, and then the other was in my bed the other night, and I was committed to finishing it. So 2 amazing books. One coming down the pipeline is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, but I'm actually going to listen to the audiobook, hopefully, but I know my mom has the paper book version. I'm not really a self-help reader, but I today listened to a podcast called The Squeeze with Taylor and Taylor Lautner. Yes, the Lautners. The Taylor Lautner that you're thinking of married a woman named Taylor, so the Lautners, hence. And Mel Robbins was on, and so I have obviously seen the Let Them Theory a million different places, and I understand the gist of it, but that was the first time I finally committed to a podcast episode listening to her explain the Let Them Theory, and I was just really inspired. I was like, okay, this is deeper than just, what we all think the Let Them Theory is from just one TikTok that we've seen. So I'm excited to eventually listen to that or read that, whatever that ends up being. And I'm also excited for just all of the summer reads that are coming down the line, which I have 10 holds on Libby, which is my Kindle app, and I keep having to let the next person borrow for every single book because the Throne of Glass series is just way too big, and I have to keep, I'm in these books, and then I'm like, oh, I get a notification that one book is ready, and the next book is ready, and the next book is ready, and I'm like, oh, I want to read you guys, but we're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer. So whenever I do finish Throne of Glass, I'll be excited I'm gonna be sad, I do know that, but then I'm gonna be excited to jump into just casual reads. So always looking for more book recommendations. If you need book recommendations, let me know. As you can see, my little bookshelf behind me, I really have a lot of books going on because I have these on my dresser that have been here for forever, and then this bookshelf behind me is also new. So I like to read, clearly, but anyway, always looking for more amazing reads. Okay, eating. Let me get my list. I feel like I'm always eating the same thing, just different variations. So to me, I always feel repetitive saying this, but when I'm posting about my food or whatever it is, I feel like there's a lot of people that come around and are like, oh my God, like, what are you eating? Like, what recipes are you making? And I'm kind of like, the same 3 things. I don't know. So we're just going to keep sharing what I'm eating because apparently it is inspiring in some shape or form. So number 1 on my list is sourdough. I made a loaf today, and I have been really struggling on my sourdough journey, as my sister-in-law Charlie knows, also my teacher of sourdough and Josephine's mother, aka my sourdough starter. And I cannot get my bread to rise and have even air bubbles and all the things, but at the end of the day, it still tastes amazing. So that's really all that matters. And I haven't told her this yet, but I actually went back to kind of my ratchet way of making sourdough, because in the oven a lot of people use a Dutch oven because it creates steam and it lets the bread like rise and crust and everything. So basically you just need a method that creates steam and traps heat. And so the internet taught me that you can just have a baking sheet on the bottom and a baking sheet on top and another oven safe container of ice obviously it's going to melt and the water will create steam. And I used that method for about a year. And then in December, Charlie got me a bread oven for Christmas, which I'm very thankful for. It's a beautiful turquoise color and it looks lovely on my coffee bar. But I was like, okay, this is going to do it. This is going to be the answer to my problems. And it wasn't. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but my sourdough won't rise. But I went back. I was like, let's just go back to the basics here. And I did my OG way of the baking sheets and it rose. It probably could still rise another, 30-40% and be more round and the bubbles could be more perfect, but it worked. So anyway, still making sourdough and other recipes with sourdough discard like pancakes and pizza crust, and I'm loving it all. But it's definitely a weekend at home thing because it's really quite the activity. It's really messy. And also, as we know, sourdough might not be the best thing to eat all the time for you. So, it's probably good that I only dabble a little bit. Okay, number 2 on my list is I'm still eating a lot of red meats, particularly ground beef and steak. I like to get my beef and steak from the farmer's market. There's a little guy there with a fridge. Well, it's actually like quite the production, not just a guy in a fridge. It's several men and several fridges. It's a legit stand. Let me put some credit where credit is due. And they sell packets of ground beef, several cuts of steak, pork. I don't get the pork. They have chorizo. They've got a lot. And I just feel like it's really quality and worth the money. So whenever I go, I definitely stockpile some of that stuff. And I will be having, well, I kind of eat it. It's the same but different throughout the week. So ground beef, whatever flavor it's going to be. Sometimes I just go classic, like salt, pepper, Parmesan, and then serve with sweet potatoes and broccoli. Sometimes I do a taco bowl with black beans, peppers, rice, onion. So really the same protein, vegetable, change up the seasoning is kind of what I do. I'm still figuring out the steak thing, which I have dabbled in air fryer steak because Anna, my meat loving carnivore Brazilian, makes her steak that way sometimes. And I'm like, if you approve, then I will approve. And I will say it's really kitchen and apartment friendly. Thankfully I'm in a house, not an apartment, but steak on a cast iron creates a lot of smoke in the house, which no one likes. So in the air fryer, you eliminate the smoke and it still is good. I'm just kind of working on perfecting it, we'll say. Okay, number 2 on my eating list: strawberries, blackberries, sumo oranges, all the fruit one can imagine. Also frozen blueberries. I have been sleeping on those, but in my yogurt bowls, I've been adding frozen blueberries because it keeps the yogurt, which this is just such a random niche thing for me because I eat my yogurt to go in the car all the time. But frozen blueberries keep your yogurt cold, obviously because they're frozen. And then I also like when they melt, just kind of adds like the purple blue color to your yogurt. And then blackberries, I buy them every week. It could be 15, not 15. It could be $1 or it could be $10 for a carton of blackberries. I'm still going to buy them. Like, I don't know what my problem is, but I love them. And then also, as you all know, it is maybe you don't know, but it is strawberry season right now. It's almost May somehow. Oh my God, it's almost May. That's scary. And go to your local farmer's market or wherever you can get fresh produce, and strawberries are bomb right now. They're so juicy, they're so sweet, fresh. I love them. And you can also get a lot for a little, like $20 for a massive bucket. So I recommend. I've also been eating for breakfast, particularly because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's my favorite meal of the day. It's the best food of the day. It's not even up for discussion. But I either in the morning have a yogurt bowl, like I just kind of touched on, where I have plain Greek yogurt, honey from the farmer's market, fruit from the farmer's market, and homemade granola, and about a tablespoon of chia seeds. Mix it all in. It's perfect. The honey makes it sweet enough so that you don't have to buy like vanilla yogurt or any flavor yogurt that just has additives that you don't need. So it's delicious. And then the other breakfast I've been making, it really just kind of depends, 1, on how much time I have, and 2, what I'm in the mood for. But I've been making a savory egg bowl thing where I cook 2 eggs sunny side up, serve it on about a serving of cottage cheese, which is about half a cup, I think, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then if I have it, I will add a sausage link, which I really recommend the Trader Joe's Unexpected Cheddar, which I'm pissed. I was driving away from Trader Joe's today and I forgot to grab those, but there was no way I was going back because it's Sunday and it was just getting chaotic in there. And also avocado if I have it. Just top with salt, pepper, Parmesan if you're feeling crazy, some hot sauce, and it is so good and also has so much protein. Like I think it usually comes out to around 38 grams of protein if you do the whole shebang of the cottage cheese, the eggs, and the sausage. So good. So I recommend. Okay, that's enough of what I'm eating right now. Plan. So what haven't I done since the last time we've talked? My February was absolutely nuts. I was gone, I think all but maybe 4 days in February, which it was all planned. So I knew it was going to happen. But I think my last episode was with Sweet Caroline. Hey. And that was kind of right before my crazy February was about to begin. And then March, I had a little bit more chill weekends, some added on trips, unfortunately. And now here we are in April. April is almost over. So let's just go through where I've been, because it's been a lot. And also a very big premise of this podcast and my personality is that I travel all the time for work and for personal reasons. So when I have several weekends at home, I'm like, oh, where should I go? And then I tend to leave. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm gone all the time. And it's like, well, yeah, I kind of do this to myself, but I love to travel. I love to fly. I love to go to new places. I love to see my friends, and all my friends live all over the country. So, and so does my family. And so therefore I have to hop on a plane to see my people. So I am also a travel expert, one could say. But in February, I went to Vegas for about 2 days for work. Very fun. My first one in Vegas, maybe my last. I don't know. And then I went to Dallas for about 17 days. Who is counting? Not me. Oh my God. Way too much time in Texas in the month of February. Love you, Lake. I had a wonderful time. I was also there for work, so that's the reason I was there for so long. But then I stayed with Lake is my friend, lives in Dallas. She's an amazing person. If you need a friend in Dallas, let me know. Her and also my college roommate, Lara, got to see her. But I was just there for a really long time. But we went from Dallas directly to Steamboat Springs, Colorado for our girls' ski trip. It was the most amazing time ever. I became a better skier, and I have said this every time I've skied, which is great. That is kind of the point, is to get better and challenge yourself and all that. But I can officially ski blacks. Can I do them well? Can I do them fast? No, not really. But I can do them, and I can do them semi-confidently. Like, it's like, all right, here we go. I mean, I can't turn around. So I had a wonderful time with that. Had some amazing food. I have Rex. If anyone's ever going to Steamboat Springs, please let me know. It's an amazing ski town, great for groups. It's amazing. So I was there, and then I was home for about 1 day approximately. And then I went straight to Florida for work and for a personal vacay. So I was in the Tampa area and then drove down to the West Palm Beach area. I just needed some warm sunshine. And I was like, I'm already on the road all month. I might as well just keep it up and end on a true vacay. So that was really fun. And then I was home for, I think, like 3-ish weekends, maybe, give or take. And then in March, I went to... I don't think I went anywhere crazy. Probably went to the beach maybe once to see my parents, and then, or maybe not, I don't really remember. And then at the end of March, I had to go to Chicago for family reasons, and then went straight from Chicago to Phoenix for work, which I do love both of those places. So those were good trips. And Phoenix is also just beautiful, a very cool city. So if you've never been, I would recommend going. I hope one of my friends has like a Scottsdale bachelorette so I can like really try all of that. I will not be doing that, but I've seen Scottsdale like once or twice, and it's interesting. It's a sight. But anyway, that was my March, and then now we're in April, and yeah, time flies, man. Time flies when you're having fun. So none of that was a current plan. That was a previous plan, just so I could update the people. And also, that's half the reason I haven't put out an episode in a while. So please forgive me. I've been on an airplane just about every day. But what's crazy is my next airplane visit is not until the end of June, which for me is a very long time. But coming up, I have some work trips, one in South Carolina, one in North Carolina. And the rest, I'm just trying to stay above water with work because we have about 30 interns beginning, and I'm the intern mom, if you didn't know. So wish me luck. Non-work related and non-travel related, I have some time at home, hence the lack of travel and flying and all of that. So I'm really just trying to savor my time at home and I don't want to say get back on routine, because I travel too much to even say that I'm off routine and need to get on routine, because then it's just a never-ending cycle of being off routine basically, and then getting used to the fact that, oh, I'm on routine, and getting excited for being on routine for 3 days before I leave again. It's just my routine is inconsistent, and that is okay. And so I just am enjoying this time at home, sleeping in my bed, having a fridge full of food, cooking meals at home, going to my workout classes, just walking Cali, reading books, just trying to enjoy my time at home because I love being home. And so obviously another plan that comes with all this time at home is I really, really, really want to get back into podcasting. And so I am making a promise to myself to just try. And because, the last 2 months, I can't say I tried, and that was okay. It was a break. It was a needed break. So now we're going to try and podcast more again, post on the Instagram again. I mean, we'll see. you guys can help keep me accountable. And other really exciting things that come with the time of year that it is summer warm beach weekends ahead. Like I'm going to the beach next weekend, and really at this point, any free weekend I have, I will probably be going to the beach so that I can just enjoy it as much as possible. I'm also excited for something that doesn't even exist yet, but I'm going to take a trip in August or September after my crazy summer to I don't know where. So it's a mystery. I'm open to recs, suggestions. Anyone want to come, let me know. But I love to plan trips and have them on my calendar. So that's something that's coming soon. Not soon enough, though, one could say. Okay. Oh, obsession. Over the last 2 months, I've been thinking of things. I'm like, oh, when I start podcasting again, like that's got to be on the obsession list. And I never wrote a single one of them down. So maybe they'll come to me, maybe they won't. But some things that I thought of today. One that I've already touched on is the farmer's market strawberries. Go. And also just the farmer's market in the summertime in general is an amazing place to be. The vibes are immaculate. It's just, how can you not be happy when you're surrounded by a lot of, well, you actually can be unhappy when you're surrounded by a lot of people. It just obviously depends on the setting. A bar, no. A concert, hit or miss. But the farmer's market on a warm, sunny, beautiful Sunday, there's a lot of produce. There's a lot of pretty, colorful flowers. There's plants. There's just everything. It's a good place to be. So I recommend that. Something else that I brought up earlier is the Squeeze podcast with the Lautners. I listened to it for the first time today. It's the first time I knew it existed, but I've already gotten two episodes today. Or no, I listened to the Anna Guide with Anna Sitar, and Taylor Lautner, the female, was on it. And so I just really enjoyed hearing her story, and I liked her voice and everything. And then I learned that she had a podcast. So then I was like, oh, let me test it out. So then that's how then I got into the Squeeze podcast with the Lautners. And I'm always looking for more podcasts. Giggly Squad is still number one. And I got their book. I need to show the class. Okay, I haven't read it yet, but I ordered How to Giggle by Hannah Berner and Paige DeSorbo. And I also got it for my friend Elizabeth for her birthday because we are gigglers together. And it's a coffee table book, but it is also, well, I mean, I can't really tell you what it's about because I haven't read it, but it's a guide to taking life less seriously. So I think it's just a lot of their bits from the podcast and also just hot pictures of them. I don't know, guys. I haven't read it yet. I don't know why I'm even pretending to talk about it, but if you haven't listened to Giggly Squad, this is your introduction to do that because it's a great podcast. So that being said, also obsession is the Squeeze as of today. So I'll report back on any more episodes I listen to, but I'm excited. I also saw they have 1 million guests on, so that means I have 1 million episodes to listen to and catch up on. Oh my God, something else, obsession, that I just remembered. And I've talked about this before. If you know me, you just know I am not a TV girl, but Severance on Apple TV. We need a moment of silence for that show. Holy crap. That show is incredible. If you like a psychological thriller, which I love, and I don't do scary shows. Cannot do it. Will not do it. If it's scary, I'm out. It's not scary, I promise. It's just a little eerie at moments. It's like, why is that woman following? Not following, because even that's scary, but it's just like, for a second, you'll be like, oh my God, what's happening? And then you're like, okay, we're good. But that show is such a mindfuck. And I loved every second of it. So if you've heard it's amazing, and you're like, I don't want to commit. I do not watch TV. And I watched that entire 2-season series in, it probably was like 2 weeks, but I binged it and it's amazing. So add that to your list. Okay, other obsession. My bookshelf that's behind me, obviously, I got it on Amazon, an Instagram ad. It was teasing me for a little bit, for a few weeks, and I caved. But it's the best thing I've caved for, and it did take about a month to come, so I ordered it at the beginning of February, and I was like, perfect. When I get back from my month on the road, it'll be here. And it was, and I'd already forgotten I'd ordered it, and I put it together all by myself because I'm a big girl, and we love her. So, yeah. Then I also have, really small detail, but something else I'm obsessed with are my bamboo sheets. My mom got me a new pair for Easter-ish, we can call it. And I love them. I've had bamboo sheets since college. And if you're someone that loves your bed and your room and sleep as much as I do, and as much as my mother does, just get bamboo sheets. I can send you the link that these are from on Amazon. They're game changer. Okay, what else? Oh, another obsession. I don't even know if this really classifies as an obsession, but it's something that I finally did, and I'm so proud of myself for doing, and I'm obsessed with the outcome. So that's how I got there. But a closet reorg. It's been on my list it's permanently on my list because I just knew I was never going to do it. But I think like 2 weekends ago, I was like, we're doing this. And it wasn't as much of a closet clean out as it was a true reorg. Like I moved my shelves around. I moved my clothes around. They're in a different order. We got the summer in, we got the winter out. And also I've used about every inch of space possible, which I have 2 closets, which is more than my roommate has, but still, like, I'm a girl. I need more than 2 closets. I need like a massive room that's a walk-in closet, and then we'll be good. So until that day, I've got to use every inch of space accordingly, and I'm really happy with the outcome. So if you have a closet clean out on your list, you just got to dig in. You got to put on a speaker, play some good tunes, and you just have to commit. You have to be prepared. Because I did reach that point where I was like looking around my room and it was just covered in clothes and shoes and bags and trash. And I was like, oh God, what have I done? But I was like, all right, there's no turning back now because I can't go to bed until this is done. And I finished. Okay, anywho, our recipe, we'll keep it short and sweet here because I gave you a lot of what I'm eating. But sourdough pizza and Caesar salad. And if you're not a sourdough girly or guy, that's fine. You can just buy pizza crust from the store, or you can also get crazy and make it. It's pretty easy to make if you do like flour and Greek yogurt, or you can do like the dough that's a pre-made dough at the store, but you like roll it out and make it yourself if you want an activity, or take the easy route and go to Trader Joe's and just get the frozen pizza crust, or some aren't frozen, and then that way you don't have to let it thaw. There's a lot of options here. But if you're using sourdough, you use about 200 grams of starter, 170 grams, which is like 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt, and then some more measurements of flour, baking powder, and baking soda and salt. And I think that's it. And you just like make the dough, let it sit for about an hour, and then you roll it out and it makes 2 crusts. And I just do red sauce, shredded mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, pepperoni, black olives, onion, and then sun-dried tomatoes if I have them, and top with Italian seasoning and red pepper flakes. And so moral of the story here is just making pizza at home. 1, it's a fun activity, and 2, it's so good. Like obviously we know pizza is good and we know it's not good for you, but if you make it at home, at least you can control what's going in your body. And it's a really satisfying meal to make. And then also Caesar salad I've made it twice in the last week and a half or so, which I'm not a really big Caesar salad person. Like if I'm out and I'm going to order a side salad or something, I usually go house salad. But every time I eat a Caesar salad, I'm like, damn, Caesar salad's really good. And I kind of forgot that I have free will and can make it on my own. So I just got fresh romaine lettuce, a Caesar salad dressing from Whole Foods, because I know dressing is like really bad for you if you're not getting one with good ingredients. So, I spent a little bit more on the dressing than I would like, but I was like, all right, at least this one is semi okay for me. And then croutons, I have pine nuts, so I threw those in there for some crunch, and shredded Parmesan and cherry tomatoes, and it's chef's kiss. Okay, and last but not least, we've got treat. Spoiler alert. And I didn't really have anything crazy come to mind other than things I've already said a million times. So those repeated treats, date bark, amazing to die for. It's amazing. If you haven't made it, I can't talk about it enough to tell you how good it is. 2, a honey latte. I had one today and I really want to make another, but I can't because it's like 5:30 and that's not going to fly. So I should probably order some decaf Nespresso pods, but then I also would just drink a honey latte at probably 10 p.m. just because, well, no, I'm not awake at 10 p.m. That's a lie. But I would make a honey latte too many times a day because I would know that I could if I had decaf coffee. So maybe it's just best that I don't. But anyway, I love a honey latte. They're such a great treat. And then another treat that we can't forget about is a piece of fresh sourdough with butter. I mean, what is better? What's better? I don't know. And one other honorable mention that's really random, but in February when I was in Chicago, we had, or not February, in March when we were in Chicago, we ate at Maggiano's, which is a really nice, yummy, well-known Italian place. Their chocolate cake. Oh my God. I'm a huge chocolate person. I'm a huge dessert person, but it's got to be chocolate dessert for me to be into it. And this chocolate cake is the best cake I have ever put in my mouth. I was like, you know what, guys? I will take one for the team and eat it. I'll eat it all. I just give it to me. Don't worry. I don't want this to go to waste. It was so good. And I also ate to the point of like, I was like, ooh, I've eaten too much, but I didn't even care because I was like, that was so good. So random honorable mention. Also another Chicago shout out is Portillo's chocolate cake shake. It's not as good as the Maggiano's chocolate cake, but it's really good. And I'm a fan. Also just Portillo's in general. Fantastic. Get a hot dog and a Italian beef, share it with a friend, or eat it all yourself. But you also need the chocolate cake shake, so I recommend just splitting it all. Yeah, those are my treats. And also, that's all I got for you today. Like I said, we're going to take a slow start back into this before I get into, some really hot and heavy topics. Just kidding. I don't really do that. But I'm behind on some things I want to chat about. So don't hold your breath for the next episode. I'm going to do my best. I promise. I've had an episode recorded since Christmas, and I've also recorded with Catherine, my niece, like 3 times because she loves podcasting with Coco in the kitchen. And she now has a pretend podcast called Catherine in the Kitchen, and it's the cutest thing ever. So I need to put some of those clips together and get an episode out. But they're coming. I promise. Be patient. But also be like, hey, Corey, put out an episode. I need something to listen to this week. And instead, I've just been sending voice messages to my friends. So someone's been getting the tea out here, and it hasn't been you. So you should be jealous. You should be like, Corey, we want to know what's going on. But anyway, thanks for listening to today's episode. Please follow along at Phone Eats First Pod on Instagram, as well as Corey_in the kitchen on Instagram and TikTok. And send me any episode requests. Send me any podcast that you like listening to. Send me some music recs. Send me some book recs. Ask me for any of those recs too. I got them. And I'll report back on how Penny the plant is doing next time we talk. Hopefully she's still doing okay. Please leave a rating and a review too. That'd be cool. Share this podcast with a friend. That'd be even cooler. And I hope you guys are having a great day. And we will talk soon. You are listening to Phone Eats First.